Hey everyone, welcome to our daily meditation for today, the 21st of May. In the Christian calendar, today is celebrated as Ascension Day. Now, I'm not much for keeping to calendars of this type. Easter and Christmas are about my personal limit. But there are other things that, whether or not we mark them with a day, are really worth remembering. The ascension of Christ is definitely one of these. Our verse for today comes from the first chapter of the book of Acts and verse 11, which says this: Men of Galilee, why do you stand looking into heaven? This Jesus, who was taken up from you into heaven, will come in the same way as you saw him go into heaven. A common reaction to the ascension of Jesus is to wonder about its significance. We might ask if it was necessary at all. Wouldn't it have been better for Jesus to stick around on the earth after his resurrection? To that question, the Bible's answer is a resounding no. The Bible teaches that we cannot enjoy a relationship to God apart from Christ's death, resurrection, and ascension. As a sinner, in order to be saved by grace, I needed a sovereign Saviour who would become a high priest and who would enter heaven and sit down at the right hand of God. God is the ruler who is exalted over all things, who reigns from heaven, but we could not approach the throne of his glory. We needed the incarnate, glorified Jesus to go before God the Father so that we might draw near to the Father. The ascension of Jesus guarantees to us that the new covenant has begun. It is the oath of his priesthood given to him that makes him the guarantor of a better covenant, as it says in Hebrews 7. Christ's ascension into heaven guarantees the oath is fulfilled. Christ is mediating the new covenant. The ascension of Jesus also changes how we think of Jesus today. As we go through our day, Jesus is not passive, but active. Jesus is praying for us. Jesus is sending the Spirit. Having prepared a place for us, Jesus is actively waiting for us, advocating for us. The ascension of Jesus changes our picture of present suffering too. Jesus, as the unique God-man, fully human and fully divine, was going to take his place as the new king and head of the human race. The ascension of Jesus helps us see that heaven is a place that is not indifferent to human suffering. The ascension is a profound resource for all of us in addressing our needs. For those who struggle with depression, guilt, shame, burnout and conflict, for those who are persecuted, for victims of war and violence, for victims of abuse and tragedy. We can all look to our ascended Lord, who understands our situations and who is compassionate toward us. The ascension of Jesus further points us to and anticipates his return. Jesus ascended visibly. Thus, he will return visibly when he comes in final judgment. After all, the angels told the disciples that Christ would return just as he had ascended. People will see Jesus physically because, as it says in 1 Thessalonians 4:16, he will come again bodily. He will return in a cloud of glory. The ascension is a beautiful doctrine. Its truth needs to resonate deep within our hearts. It can shape our prayers and bring our hope into true focus. We need to return again to understand the rich benefits of the grace that flow from the fact that Christ has ascended into heaven on our behalf. God bless.